Justice
to
now.
justice. Obstruction to justice. Obstruction to justice. Justice now. Well, hello, and welcome to another Obstruction to Justice broadcast where we talk about current issues, we have answers, provide business information. I'm Ann Moles. Thanks for stopping by. Today, we're going to talk with author, historian Larry Lester. Larry, how is it going?
Well, thank you, Sister Moles. Pleasure to be on Obstruction to Justice.
Oh, I'm so glad that you made it. Now, here, I need to take it a little bit farther because not only are you a historian and author, but you're president of the Greater Kansas City Black History Study Group
Yes,
and chairman of the Society for the American Baseball Negro League Research Committee. You got a
yes.
lot going on, my brother. Very proud of you.
Uh, Thank you. I'm juggling a lot of balls.
That is a good you and no pun intended, because you're the guy when it comes to the Negro League baseball. You are the premier historian, the elite historian when it comes to the history of our great heritage of the Negro League baseball. And I just was very, very pleased to see that you are still very active in what you
Yes.
do with the baseball museum and not so much the museum anymore. We may
Mhm.
get into that a little bit, but you have evolved. It's like there's always a starting point, but you have evolved into continue on telling the great story of the history of the athletes of old and which opens doors for the athletes today. Uh, we really, there's so much to cover today, and I just am excited about it. But let's go out. I want to go out to your website,
Okay.
and we're going to go out here and take a look at the website that you have because it's very interesting. Very interesting. Now, for all of you all who are interested in baseball, interested in African American history, uh, you definitely need to go out to larrylester42.com. That's LARRYLESTER 42. That's the number 42.com and check it out. It is very, very timely when it comes to providing an overview of great historical research, pictures, images of baseball, the baseball years gone by,
Mm.
and of course, it just sets it up for more time in sports. And we get excited about our current people that are still in sports. Now, I don't know too many people who are currently doing the sports thing. I'm not I'm big on sports, but how about those Chiefs?
They're doing all right.
They are doing all right, aren't they? Now they play football. You're into baseball, but to me, it's all good. It's all good. It just makes me stand up and cheer. I tell you, it
It's all
does
about
that.
that competitive spirit.
The competitive spirit, and not only that competitive spirit, but the perseverance
Hmm.
of the spirit. Now, when it comes to history, we know our African American roots of history, historical accounts of what people of the past have had to go through. And really it's now, even though historically African American Black history, we still perseverance is kind of part of it, isn't it?
Yes, perseverance, resilience, looking for a little redemption, some respect, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
all the R's, recognition, just it all comes together in trying to respect the history and the road that they paved for us, the younger generation of African Americans, to prosper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's been a good journey. I've learned so much from these men and what they went through, and it helped shape my life to become a better father, husband, uh, brother, and friend.
That
So
is cool. Yes. Now, 42. 42. Now that number sticks out. It sticks out. Uh, what is it about the number 42? Now, I notice here out on the website, you have it looks good in that it gives us, it's very straightforward where you can go out and you have different tabs that jump out and highlight the areas of what it is that you would explain under that tab. So, number
mhm,
42, we have 42 tribute. Oh, I think I'm getting close here. What that number 42 is.
right.
Mm, is it about brother Jackie Robinson?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Oh, what a neat page here. Now, why the number 42? Tell us about how you got into that. Why is that an important number for you?
Well, in 1960, I was around 10 years old, and I lived in an American League city. And so I never saw any National League teams. So I did not get to see Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and Roberto Clemente play in Kansas City, unless the Kansas City Athletics went to the World Series, which they never did, of course.
Okay. Now,
So
2
mhm,
seconds. Kansas City Athletics. Oh, all right. Right now it's the Kansas City Royals.
that's correct.
So, what why was it the Kansas City Athletics back then and who were they? What's that team all about?
But Kansas City Athletics were the first major league team to come to Kansas City.
Okay.
And so I lived next to the ballpark. I went to a lot of ball games. Only cost $1.50 to get in, and kept score. Scorecard cost 15 cents. Get a little pencil, and I'd keep score. I learned
Now,
math,
the
everything else. Hmm.
ballpark here, was this ballpark you were mentioning here in Kansas City?
Yes, on 22nd in Brooklyn.
20, okay, that's right around the corner from Lincoln, isn't it? What?
Exactly.
Ah, yes, I remember that ballpark.
Right.
Actually, I remember that ballpark. I was actually going to the junior high school there the last year, the season before they opened up the stadium out here off of I-70.
Hmm.
They actually played there. So you got a chance to go into that ballpark and enjoy it. So they
Yeah.
gave you a little you were
Oh, yeah.
tallying up some scores there.
Yeah, I love math, and I could keep the scores. I learned the nuances of the game and strategy, and but I was a little bit moved by seeing so many white fans in the stands when the neighborhood was 100% black.
Hmm.
I couldn't
Mhm.
figure out where all these white folks came from. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I became curious and asked people in my neighborhood, fathers, grandfathers, the elders, and they would tell me about the Negro League players. And that's how I became interested in the Negro Leagues. And so
Cool.
when Jackie Robinson came to town, I read about him in the paper. I asked my father to take me to hear him speak on behalf of presidential candidate Richard Nixon. And he did. It was pretty boring for a 10-year-old, but Jackie Robinson came to the stage in a high pitched voice, and I've been a fan ever since. I
Now,
don't remember what he said, but I like
Jackie Robinson had a high pitched voice.
yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
To look at him, you think he would be a baritone, but he was more like an alto.
Okay, cool, cool. So you got a chance to see Jackie Robinson. for the first time. There was some questions going on, and all of the European Americans that were hanging out at the baseball field, even though it was a predominantly African American community. Yeah,
Yes.
there would be some questions going off there, but you got and then Richard Nixon. So you got a chance to see Richard Nixon too, huh?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there for Nixon.
Wasn't there for Nixon, but you were there for 42.
Yeah,
Jackie Robinson.
it was
Yeah.
interesting time, man. In my development as a youth. My school was black, my church was black,
Mhm.
my neighborhood was black, and so for a moment there, I thought we were the majorities.
Well, that right there is something to say because integration, even though it's a good thing to bring the gel of all of the different
Hmm.
cultures and communities together in America, because that's one thing that makes America is that we are a melting pot of many
Hmm.
different cultures, races. But with the integration, I think that that was something that we didn't know that we were so segregated, and it was
No,
all
we didn't.
right because we still had everything in our communities. We had Drucker's grocery store right next
Yes.
door,
Hmm.
where we could pick up our fresh fruits and vegetables. We had Lou's Cafe there on Vine Street.
There you go.
We had Junk Shop Willie's down there. We had the Palace Cab. So
I forgot about them.
and we had the A&P, which was a little ways away,
Yeah.
but it was the A&P, even though it wasn't a African American store. We went to, Drucker's grocery store when we
Right.
wanted to hang out with, and he still had the candy. He had everything a kid would need. So yes, that was a very interesting time for us and me growing up. I got the tail end of that.
Uh-huh.
So my family had the soul food restaurant down there on Vine Street, Lou's Cafe,
I've been
and
there.
oh, really? I did not know that. And, Aunt Lou, I learned how to cook by calling her on the phone and asking her, "What do I do?" And she definitely gave me those recipes. So it sounded like you got into baseball by going to the games where the baseball field, the baseball diamonds were in it was in your neighborhood and you could get there. Now that's
Yeah.
something to say. That's something
Yeah.
to say.
I could walk to the ballpark, and we didn't have crime like we have today, and I could walk home at 11 o'clock at night
Mhm.
unimpeded, without any escort. Uh, we didn't even lock the front door. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just a different time
It was
period.
a different time. It was a different time. So, number 42, you got to meet him for the first time. You were excited about him. And, that's something about, we think of sports people as heroes in a sense that they were doing something that we probably aspired to do. They were doing things that allowed for them to exert themselves and they were educated or whatever, just people, African Americans doing great things. Uh,
Exactly. Well, as you know,
mhm,
Jackie Robinson was an activist, a political activist, and he spoke out. He had some columns in some New York newspapers. He did an editorial every week. So uh, he helped shape my voice, for a better word. He
mhm.
helped shape me to be someone who is outspoken, and when I see something, I say something if I think it's wrong. So that's why Jackie Robinson is my hero.
All right. Number 42, number 42. And, anyone that, if you want to, guys, come out here to the website and click on the number 42. And it does have an overview of what the explanation of that was given by our brother Larry Lester, how he got started there. It talks a little bit about that, and it's got a cool picture of him. He's got a cool picture out there, and you'll get a chance to check that out too. Now, you are also an author,
Hmm.
Brother Lester, an author. And when I hover over the books tab, I see, oh my goodness, Black Baseball's National Showcase, updated. I see Negro Leagues Book Volume 1, Negro Leagues Book Volume 2, Black Baseball National Showcase, Black Baseball's first colored World Series.
Right.
Oh, that looks interesting. I'm going to click on that.
Okay.
Oh, look at this picture. Now, see, that's something, and you have a background. I'm trying to wait for that to save that till the end.
Okay.
And I want to talk about the pictures that are in your background here, with your background. But here we go. Now, that is the.
Kansas City. That's Kansas City right there.
Are you serious?
Before they put the second level on, that was Municipal Stadium in 1924,
Oh my goodness.
and they hosted the Colored World Series. That's what it was called back then.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, and
Kansas City
that's not
Monarchs
Kansas City Monarchs.
versus
Okay.
the Hilldale Club out of Darby, Pennsylvania.
Oh my goodness.
And you see them
Guys,
lined up.
they're lined up. Go out here and look at this. It's got a little carousel, and it will take you. You can actually see the players lined up, and this is history. I saw. I didn't get a chance to hang out at the municipal stadium, but I was there. I was in the neighborhood around there. But here, this is a black and white photo of
Hmm.
the Kansas City Monarchs. And this is something that you could definitely enjoy here. Just a picture here on the website. Now,
And below is the ball signed by the 1924 team.
oh my goodness. Now, this ball here, do we know where it is?
No, we don't.
Okay. All right. Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay. Cool. See, now this is this is the book. So
Yes.
now this is the book. Now here it's super reasonable. I'm gonna say this. eh, Where is I'm gonna share now this book, the book that you're seeing here on the website, a review of baseball's first colored World Series. I think that would be a wonderful gift. I would give this book to any young person that knows how to read, that can appreciate the book, that enjoys African American history. And I tell you, it's a good looking book.
Well, thank you.
I would definitely purchase this book, and we can go out there now. It looks like from here you can purchase the book from the website right here, and a signed cover copies are available.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's something where the author can sign it, and that's part of history. Now, I'm gonna tell you, this brother has gone out. I'm gonna stand on my little soapbox a little bit. Brother Larry Lester has gone out and he has studied this. This is a gift that was given to him, the desire to want to know about the heritage and the legacy of African American people. And we, as African American people, I know that there are many cultures that get to enjoy their culture. You have the Jewish culture, and they have different ceremonies and the cultures of what they do, how they celebrate their religion. You have Spanish cultures, Mexican cultures, all different types of cultures, Asian, Chinese cultures. And the first thing someone wants to say is that Black people don't have a culture. Well, shame on them, because we certainly, most certainly do.
Yes.
And this is why historians are so, so, so very important. So very important.
Yeah.
Now,
Black baseball does matter.
it you better believe it, because with that, there's so many stories about the Negro League, black baseball, the perseverance. 1924 was not a pretty time for us, for
No.
African Americans, when it comes to the in trying to get along and just be right. We were persecuted in so many different ways. Lynching was still super big. It was big going on during that time, but yet, and there's Jim Crow South, the Jim
Yes.
Crow segregation that these black men had to get through and press through and still hold their dignity to know that, hey, they were super gifted, super
Hmm.
talented, huh? Had it definitely going on. So this is part of our culture. Now we do more than sports, but
Yes, we do.
there is a character. There isn't there a character development when it comes to number one, they had to go through so much, it being 1924, but
Well,
the kid.
yes, we had
Mhm,
prohibition and the Jim Crow laws, and of
mhm,
course, we still have some resistance today. I call it the black tax, where we're criminalized, marginalized, and sometimes chastised for just walking down the street.
just yeah.
So these men, they pay the black tax up front, and we're still paying that tax today.
Mhm, mhm.
So, but this was an interesting journey. Uh, I flew to Philadelphia, took the trolley car to Darby, Pennsylvania, and interviewed the residents who were still around, alive, old enough to remember the 24 World Series, and got some great interviews.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that was one of my first books, but
I would
got
definitely
lucky.
this. I would definitely purchase this for any young person and make sure they keep it in their collection. If you're going to get them a video game, and how much do those video games cost nowadays? Huh? We can certainly pass along some heritage,
A lot of change.
mm, heritage for retail $39. I'm going to say it. I think that's great. Now, we talked about that book. That's but there's other book options to, definitely that you can check out. Now, let's look at the Malloy Conference.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, the Malloy Conference looks very interesting to me because what I in this I it looks interesting because I've talked with you about it. But you have testimonials and then there are different places that you've been. Tell us about what the Malloy Conference is all about.
Well, the Malloy Conference is an academic conference where professors, historians, and authors can come and give a presentation on a specific topic regarding Black baseball history. Many of these topics are not the norm, and so this gives these people an opportunity to talk about something that's not in the mainstream. Uh, we the conference lasts Friday and Saturday. We have an awards banquet on Saturday night. We go to the ball game on Friday night. We also have a players panel, usually on Saturday afternoon, where you'll see, like in this case, the Satchel Paige family came in and did a presentation. We might have 4 or 5 ball players do a panel, and we have a great time. We really do. Uh, we raise monies to have 4 $1,000 scholarships to a high school senior on a national
Oh,
level, and 2 $500 library grants on a national level. It's not local.
okay.
And so anybody in the world can apply for these scholarships. It's on the National Scholarship website, and we get hundreds of essays about a specific topic that we send out. And we have judges who go through the process of reading every essay and say, "This is our 4 winners this year, Larry," and send them a check for $1,000, non-restrictive.
Okay. That's just non-restrictive, so they don't have to use it, say, for a particular thing, but they is it they don't have to use it for a particular thing. So they it's $1,000 scholarship that will just to help them along. Is that
Right.
it?
Most scholarships are earmarked for books only
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
tuition only. Well, sometimes you need a little extra cash to
That's it.
get there.
Help them along. Sure. I definitely I agree with that, and that's super. Now it looks like the last conference here was held in Kansas City was in 2016. So it's been a
Yes. We had a great turnout, one of our biggest conferences ever. Oh man, people came from everywhere. We have people come from Canada, South America to the conference.
cool.
Uh, it's a full blown conference. Former oh, oh well anyway, some of the children, daughters and sons of Negro League players show up. We
Hmm.
honor them, and we give out awards like the MVP award, which stands for the most valuable partner. The person that raised the most money, they get a MVP award uh, in the honor of former Commissioner Faye Vinson. Faye Vinson autographs a book for them called The Last Commissioner,
Hmm.
and I give that award along with the book to the newest recipient, and we've done 15 of those.
Cool.
And we give other awards for the best book of the year and best presentation, et cetera, et cetera. So
Hmm.
it's all about giving back. I have no paid staff. Uh, Everybody's a volunteer, including myself. So all the money coming in goes back out to benefit an organization or an individual.
Hmm. Now I have a quick question. Malloy Conference. How did you all come up with that name, Malloy
Oh, one of
Conference?
my mentors was a fellow by the name of Jerry Malloy, uh, an incredible, gracious, giving person. He was always willing to share research. He died suddenly at a very young age, and my committee, we thought it would be appropriate to name the conference the Jerry Malloy Negro League Conference instead of just the Negro League Conference.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we advertise it as the biggest, baddest, and best baseball conference in America.
Sounds like it is to me. And these are volunteer efforts. And, I'm a firm believer in when you're going to be a volunteer and you have an organization that helps others, I believe the success comes when others participate in donating and volunteering too, right? So,
Definitely.
you don't just hoard things and hoard your time, hoard your finances, but you share in it. So you share in it. You guys are volunteers for, sounds like you're a volunteer for all of what you're doing here. So all of the donations that come in goes out to the cause that it's called for, that's going to help young people. And so I would like to definitely participate.
Okay.
Yeah, and volunteer and give what I can too. And then that makes it bigger. It's a world of giving so that not only are the ones that are giving, but I get to give and it's a big snowball of giving, right?
Yes,
Uh,
it is. And we welcome all donations in any amount. We'll be in Birmingham in 2021, Birmingham,
Okay.
Alabama. We were scheduled in 2020, but you know what happened there.
Oh my goodness.
Every,
Yes.
whole country locked down. But we got an awesome lineup in Birmingham where Willie Mays started his professional career in 1948. And we will probably tour Rickwood Field, the oldest ballpark in America. It's over 100 years old,
Is it?
where Willie Mays played and several other Negro Leaguers also performed.
Cool. Now, it's cool that you guys named this conference after it. I didn't recognize the name. Just a great guy, huh?
Yeah,
A
he's not a
great
household
guy.
name. He stayed undercover most of the time, but
Mhm.
anybody who ever wanted to share research, he was more than willing to help.
Super.
Uh, Great mentor to me and others.
Mhm. Super. Now, I heard about some of the donations. Once the donations come in at through the Malloy conference, I
Mm-hmm.
understand that it goes out for the scholarships that are given to students, library grants.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that work? I hear about the library grants. You hear like the Gates Foundation, they give away computers and all that to certain libraries or libraries. So, is that
Well,
what do you guys donate? What do you do for the libraries?
well, Sister Ann, we see a void in many libraries in that they don't have any books about black baseball.
Ah, yeah, that's something to think of. Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if your library wins the grant, then we give you $500 to buy books about black baseball, about Negro League baseball, to fill your library. So some of these young kids can come in there and learn more about black baseball. There's a lot of children's books on the Negro Leagues, but
Mhm.
they're not in some libraries.
Okay, okay. And that yes, that's definitely important. So, let's say for instance, the library would be able to get the wonderful book about the first colored World Series, right?
Exactly. Hmm.
So they could afford to have that in the library where students can or and people can check it out and enjoy it and then turn it in. Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
No excuses.
Yeah. For sure, Now, the another thing, what other things does the Malloy Conference support?
Well, we also have a grave marker project.
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh, Years ago, Dr. Jeremy Kroc approached me about putting headstones on unmarked graves of Negro League players.
Mhm,
The challenge there is we have to get permission from the family,
mhm,
which we've been able to do. Uh, some of the ball players died in poverty because they didn't have a means of making a living after they quit playing ball.
mhm.
For
Wow.
example, Coop Papa Bell was a security guard at the city hall in St. Louis.
Mhm,
Because he's famous, it was easy to raise money for him. But some of these ball players are unknown, unrecognized, and unappreciated. So we identified probably 50 unmarked graves. And in the past 12 years, we have been able to purchase headstones for about 38 or 39 of them. We
wow.
do about three every year. We're scheduled to do three more in 2021. Uh, we just raise monies. It costs between $750 to $1,200 for a nice headstone. And as you can see from my website, they are custom made for that ball player.
Mhm.
Some of them have been without a headstone for 50 or 60 years.
Oh my
You can
goodness.
see Saul White there. He was without a headstone in 1955. This man is in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, but he didn't have a headstone.
Oh my goodness.
And as you can see, the city just comes out and just when marching bands and politicians show up and give speeches like they know who he was, it's all good.
Mm, 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 mm.
And you can see there he put out the first definitive history about black baseball
My goodness.
in 1910, I believe, 1907.
1907. That's what it says here.
So he was long overdue for an honor, and we travel from different cities to cities to dedicate a marker. You know, we may be in Wichita, Kansas, then St. Louis, then Topeka, and then Chicago. We did 17 headstones at a Bear Oak Cemetery in Chicago one
Wow.
year. That's where
Mm.
Emmett Till is buried.
Emmett Till is buried there too.
Hmm.
Now, for
So,
those who don't remember who Emmett Till was, he was the teenager that was visiting his family in a southern town in the South and was murdered for allegedly whistling at a white American woman.
hmm
Uh, and he was murdered. And his mother, just so that the world would know and not try to sweep things under the rug and hide and cover things like so many of the crime had been done during that time. She brought the body home to Chicago and
Yes.
put the body on display where everyone could see what happened to her son and that horrific act of murder because of whatever lie. We don't know the true history or story about it, but sometimes we had heard that it was a lie, wasn't true anyway. But the fact that a child was
Right.
murdered, nothing for the
Yeah.
hate because of the color of his skin. Now,
Sad.
very
Sad.
sad, very sad, and so many. And here's the thing: I don't think I think life is a it's a journey. It's a journey and it
Hmm.
has its ebb and flows. So with that, you'll have like this great ball player who was a historian in his own right. He wrote a book
Hmm.
about baseball here. So he himself found himself in a bad way, even though, he had done great things. And then your organization remembers that the plight of those that have passed on and weren't given the opportunity to be properly marked, as far as their grave. So I think that is just a very honorable thing to do. And this is you're a black organization. I will say that because you are
Hmm.
headed by an African American man, which is yourself. You are African American. So, headed by a great African American organization that is seeing about the history of African Americans. Now, this is way before February. It's not February Black History Month. I'm black. It's 12 months out of the year, y'all. My color doesn't change. I'm not vanilla or half and half. I'm not Neapolitan.
Yeah,
I'm
we
black
celebrate Black History every day, not just in
every
February.
day, every day. And I'm hoping that some young person would definitely get hold to this broadcast and be encouraged to know that it is beautiful to be black and it's a proud thing to be black African American every day and that black people do see about each other. Yes, we
Amen.
so in spite of what the media tells you, we do see about each other, and that's the point. That is the point, and you can definitely see the grave markers here. He does
Hmm.
have tribute to the Saul White, King Solomon White. Huh?
Yeah,
That was
click
his
on the
name.
grave marker header up
Okay,
above
let's see
at the
here.
top. Just click on the header,
Hmm.
grave markers.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, you click right there.
Mhm.
No, no, not there, up
Oh,
above.
just here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
And you can see some of the headstones that we have put on,
Okay.
we've developed.
Okay.
We have a great designer.
They are nice. Mhm. They are nice. And he updates the Wikipedia.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah. So that's super. Everything you get out there on Wikipedia isn't always correct, guys. I just want
No,
you to
it's
know
not.
that. But it looks like
We
we
try.
brother Larry Lester is definitely on it to keep going. There's some video out here too where you can enjoy that and get some information about that. So yeah, I am just super impressed and very proud to hear and to know that you guys definitely see about the people who've done great things, but fell on hard times or the time it just was the time. So they passed and we remember them and honor them. Your
And we,
organization
we
does
have
that.
received some great recognition. It was on the front page of the New York Times.
Hmm.
Brian Williams on NBC Nightly News did a feature on this segment about
Okay.
our grave marker project, and it was featured in Sports Illustrated. So
It's
we
been
don't work in a vacuum, uh,
mhm.
but we've gotten some recognition for our work. We're very appreciative of it.
Good, good. It's good to hear. And of course, donations, you guys are having another conference coming up here in
Mhm.
Birmingham. So, again, this is another opportunity to participate and get the word out so that, okay,
Yes.
Brian Williams, he did a great job. The New York Times did a great job, but we're going to still ring that bell for
Oh,
the
thank you.
Negro League, the Negro League history that
Hmm.
you provide there for us. Okay, so we've talked about the Malloy Conference and the books. The books, you guys, look, I'm going to go out here and we're going to take a look at, there's books out here that this brother has put together and has some interesting photographs too. So let me go ahead and share this screen with that. Give me a minute and we'll go out here and share this. They're out on Amazon. Okay, so did we get it up? All right, I
Yes.
see. They are out here on Amazon and they're available in Kindle editions or
Hmm.
paperback. Now, I definitely would want to get some of the more colorful books. I would want to get them in the paperback or get them in the book form. I get the Kindle. Kindle is kind of for, reading and everything reference,
Right.
but I want to see the pictures. That
I do
that
too.
that is what is super exciting to see these older pictures, these pictures out here. Now, Ruby Foster in his time, is can you share a little bit about who Ruby Foster was?
Well, he's considered the godfather of black baseball.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Rube Foster, Andrew Rube Foster came to Kansas City in
Ruby.
1920 and organized the Negro National League, the first black league to survive a full season. He had owners from seven other black teams to form the Negro National League in 1920. And that's why Major League Baseball looks at 1920 through 1948 as Major League teams.
Okay.
So he's the man who had the vision. Uh, had a robust character, a Rolodex memory. Uh, always smoked a pipe and big man, about 260 pounds, and he moved his weight around in more ways than one. And I had to write a book about the man who really started this history and made it a permanent structure. Before 1920, there were a lot of independent black teams, but they were without structure and no league and no contracts and what have you. But Rube Foster made it all happen. So I talk about his time growing up in Texas, coming to Chicago, and how he was a dominant pitcher in the 19 teens and 1920s.
Mhm.
Uh, so I had to write a book about the mastermind.
The beginning, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, super. Well, it's out here, guys. It looks like there's a Kindle edition, and
Hmm.
you can grab that history out. They're very reasonably priced, I will say, and definitely, what I glean too from history books and the stories of those that have come before us and have accomplished, persevered to accomplish the God given. I just believe it's God given tasks and things to do. What I enjoy gleaning from them are the stories of perseverance and to overcome in spite of the odds. It's the most miraculous, and it is a miracle. I believe
Hmm.
many miracles that have been. When you want to see a miracle in life, look at the lives of human beings that were persecuted and just destroyed, or even to the point of wanting to kill us off, kill people off, to torment them, and yet Maya Angelou and Still I Rise.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, and still I rise. That's the miracle. That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
say, guys. You think that miracles are eerie and, misty and foggy and no, the miracle is really life, the life's journey and overcoming. And I'm sure that Rube Foster sharing that information would definitely give you some inspiration to go on, especially in these challenging times. Now, I see
Mhm.
the Negro Leagues book. So, what would we see in that particular book?
Uh, that's a generic name. In there, you will see a register of about 6,000 ball players who played like baseball, the years that they played, the teams that they played for. There's a section on all the colleges that they attended. You can find out another section on what uniform number they wore. A lot of people ask me, "Wouldn't I want to get a uniform of Rube Foster? What uniform number did he wear?" Well, it's right there in the book.
There you go.
You'll find all the awards that these Negro League players have won. I have a section in there that shows you all the All Star games that they played in. I go all the way back to 1862. That's the first black baseball game I could find, right before the Civil War.
Okay.
I can document that black folks were playing baseball before the Civil War, and
Oh.
not, as some people believe, it started with Jackie Robinson in 1947.
That's all. That's funny. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah,
let,
we've been
let me
playing
go ahead and
baseball a
go.
long time.
I have to laugh. Yeah, I mean, yes. Go ahead.
So
Super.
you see all these different tables and charts. It's mostly an encyclopedia. All the awards named after Negro League players. There's also a cemetery section where you can find where your favorite ball player is buried. What I do every Memorial Day, I go around to all the family plots and I put flowers on everybody's grave,
Cool.
and then I come home and we throw the Memorial Day picnic. But in
Mm-hmm.
the morning, that's what I do, and so I had to do that last section, my cemetery section, to show where all the great ball players are buried. Uh, so it's about 550 pages.
Wow.
Uh,
That's a nice
it's
reference book.
yeah. I had two publishers who wanted to put a $95 price tag on it, and I said no. No. We want to make it affordable. We don't want people to frame the book. We want people to read it.
Mhm, mhm. And again, it's so reasonably priced that if you have a young person, I don't care what sport they're in, okay? I don't care if they're football players, what sport they're in. This is it's so reasonably priced that where you can actually get your young person the Rube Foster book for
Hmm.
inspiration and then this other stat books. I mean, just so that they can have it as reference and be able just to kind of thumb through and the awards. If we don't see the accomplishments, then we don't really appreciate who we are. And I say, as African Americans, we need to appreciate who we are. I work with young people every day, and I work with all kinds of young people, multicultures of young
Hmm.
people every day. And that's one of the most exciting things about my what I do is that I can choose to do that. Well, with that, if a young person is going to crack open a book, which we do encourage, I want to encourage all
Hmm.
young people, come on, let's read. Older people don't want to read, but it's more than just the TV, it's more than just the video. Let's read, let's open our eyes and ingest so that we can understand hey, these are awards that were named after famous Black people or people
Exactly.
who were doing things then. So we have a great rich history even
Hmm.
during a time of adversity in our lives.
Well, I can share with you one of the most popular chapters in this book is the one I did on women in baseball.
Okay,
There
I'm
were
interested.
five black women who played in the Negro Leagues.
Really?
Uh, had several female owners of Negro League teams. One of them is Effa Manley. She's the only woman in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. And so I did a short section on
I've
women
never
in
heard
black
of her.
baseball. Of course not.
Mm,
It's,
never heard of her.
history's been swept under the rug and forgotten, but it's all there in my book with dates, pictures of all of these women who served as owners, secretaries, treasurers, and players. I have
Wow.
photographs of all of them in the book.
Wow. And this is the Negro Leagues book?
Yes, the Negro
It's
Leagues book right there, volume
okay.
two.
Mhm.
I have three daughters, so I have to represent them somehow in a way.
Definitely. Good job, Dad,
Yeah.
for sure. Now, here, I'm just so curious. There's a couple of more here. The black baseball in New York City. Hmm.
Yes, that's just a pictorial history about all the wonderful black teams that came through New York City, the Lincoln Giants, the Lincoln Stars, the New York Black Yankees. There was a team called the New York Black Yankees.
Really?
Yes, the New York Cubans, who won the 1947 Negro World Series. A
Mm-mm.
lot of black teams, because of on the eastern seaboard, they had a large population, so they had many black teams. The Brooklyn Royal Giants and the Brooklyn Eagles and many New York teams. So I had to do a pictorial history of those teams, and it's been one of my best selling books.
Super, super. Now, and then the last one, I mean, you guys just have to come out here now. All you'll need to do would be to go to the Larry Lester, go to the Amazon.com, and then search Larry Lester, and it will take you to these books.
Hmm.
Now, let's see. The black baseball in Pittsburgh, what my guess would be kind of on the same level
Yes,
as
I did four of those: black baseball in Pittsburgh and Detroit, Kansas City,
mhm.
and Chicago.
Okay.
Uh, some of them are not listed because they're out of print right now.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm,
the first one, the other one that you see, Black Baseball Stats No Showcase, is out of print. So I did a revised version and extended it to 1962.
okay.
It's selling like hotcakes. Uh,
Sure.
Black Baseball Stats Showcase is about the All Star game that was played annually in Comiskey Park.
Mhm.
It was the biggest event in Black America in the 30s and 40s. It drew over 50,000 fans some years to see
Wow.
this All Star game. It outdrew white Major League Baseball day in and day out.
Now, I want to just mention you mentioned that, and I want to kind of go back to integration. I look and I want to. I know I'm going to get hit for saying this, guys, but hear me out. See, during integration and what Brother Lester, what you had already mentioned, and what I had already noticed is that we had a life. Yeah, we had a life. We had, um, all they want to show are pictures of separate but equal color, you
Right.
know, colored and all that, water fountains and everything. But that wasn't, we didn't have that in the black neighborhood. It was just a nice, clean water fountain. You
Water was
didn't,
good too.
water was good. So, we only saw that when we went into the white neighborhoods,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
So, y'all wanna holler folks wanna holler integration, really it was to me, and I'm just gonna say it, I just believe it was about an economics thing, you
Well, it
know?
was. The
It was
black teams were
already
outdrawing. I mean, we
uh-huh.
go back to Chicago. Chicago American Giants, the Negro League team, was outdrawing the Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox.
Mhm.
Fans, both black and white, wanted to see the best and rarest talent on the field, and they didn't care about the color of someone's skin.
Sure did.
And so they went to
Mhm.
see the black teams play because the game was more up tempo, more stylish, button run, steal and run, double steal, suicide squeeze plays.
Come on. Come
Uh,
on.
so they was like, wow, this game is more exciting, more up tempo. it's a faster paced game. So this is where I'm gonna spend my money at today.
Yes. Faster paced game, up tempo, stylish,
Hmm.
and free. Free. Now, some people say, "Hey, I don't want to go to the movie theater because they make too much noise." I want to go to the movie theater because it makes the crowd more exciting. I've gone to movie
Yeah,
theaters where they are so excited, folks are jumping out of their seats. It's
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
who you
yeah.
wanna hang with exciting. Mm. That
You
yeah,
know,
I
you
just
can be
enjoy
quiet at home.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. And here are a couple of great pictures. I just enjoyed them seeing you here at the typewriter. Yes, a typewriter. Yeah, not a computer
You're showing your
keyboard.
age now.
Yeah, a typewriter, number 42, getting your work in, making it happen, and definitely signing those books, giving those autographs. We though it, just go out there, guys. Go out to the Amazon, type in Larry Lester, Larrylester,
Hmm.
and you will see his work. You will see his work, and just enjoy it. Okay,
Okay.
now who are the brothers behind you? That one in the pirates uniform there. Oh my goodness.
That's
Hey,
Roberto Clemente.
uh, is that who that is?
Yeah,
I've heard the name. Now I get to see him. Very handsome brother. Very
yeah.
handsome.
Died in a plane crash
Oh
when
my
he was
goodness.
young. He's in
Mhm.
the National Baseball Hall of Fame. In the middle there, there's Willie Say Mays, who is still around. He lives in San Francisco. And then you
Willie
got on the
Mays.
yeah,
Willie
Willie
Mays
Mays.
is
That's
still around.
he sure
Okay.
is. And so is Hank Aaron.
Okay.
Hank Aaron
There's
in
Hank
the Braves
Aaron.
uniform. That's Hank Aaron. Hammer and Hank.
Okay.
Uh, he's a big time businessman in Atlanta, Georgia. Uh,
Wow. Yeah.
all of them are great guys.
Still hanging. Now, do when I do have to ask,
Hmm.
when you get a chance to talk to them, do they, even if they're busy, are they gonna drop whatever they got going to come and talk to you, brother?
They always do.
Okay. I figured
They
that.
know I'm gonna keep it real.
Uh-huh. I figured that. Now I do have to show off. This is Ann Moles's version. Now this is a great little book that I picked up. I just thought it was the neatest thing. It is telling the history of the baseball as what the way they see it,
Hmm.
the way they see it, and it's all
Okay.
right. And I just thought it was fun. But this is about as close as I get, and I'm gonna have to re-educate myself with your books. But this is what I got going on, my brother.
Good looking cover.
Oh, yeah, this is what I got going
I'm gonna
on.
give it a shout out. That's a great, good looking cover.
Thank you, thank you,
I
thank
don't know
you.
what's on the inside.
Well, they do have a couple of pictures. Mine aren't
Okay.
as fabulous as yours. There's
That's Hank Aaron.
there's the Hank Aaron picture.
Yeah.
I get A for that. I don't think it has that tall drink of water, that Clemente guy, but uh, here we go. Oh my goodness, and here's the other one. I got this one.
Yes, Willie
Willie
Mays.
Mays. Yeah,
Say hey.
yeah. I got that one. So those are the two that I'm gonna
Okay.
know about. I'm gonna know about
Okay.
them a little
You just
bit.
scratching the surface, dear.
I know it. You said 6,000?
Yeah.
6,000, and just the that just blows my mind in that it's a whole culture of and decades of people that participated in this thing.
Oh
Mm,
yeah. And of course, Major League Baseball is only recognizing about 3,400, but I'll take what I can get right now.
right. All right. And we're excited for you on that uh, where they are finally recognizing
Hmm.
the Negro League players. We commend you for your work and your perseverance through all of the journey. We need historians. We need you, Brother Lester, and
Well,
that's why
well,
you were
thank you.
featured on today's Obstruction to Justice. We appreciate that you have joined us today and that you are still on that battlefield. And
Yes. Oh, I'm a fighter, and I welcome any obstacles. I turn those into opportunities. So,
still holding it down. And hopefully, there's going to be good news, which we know there is. I don't care how much time it takes. We would love to have you back, if you
oh, of
will.
course.
Come back and hang with us a little bit, because we, like you said, I don't even think we scratched it a little surface.
No,
I didn't know you went and ate at Lou's though, huh? That right there, that's worth the interview. Shoot,
I had to get my grub on. You know that.
that girl, she could burn. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's another story, but you are
Okay.
right. I flew. I have a picture of her. I might have to share that
Please
next time
do.
we come on. Yeah, I'll share that picture. She was my heart. She was in my
Oh
heart.
yeah. Yum
But
yum.
thank you, Brother Lester. Thank you. All right. And we just want to thank you for joining another segment of Obstruction to Justice. And, just take to heart what we've shared today and just know that we are all Americans. If we were born in this great country, yes, we are all Americans and we all have a history, and all of our histories are super important. And anyone that has a story to tell, tell it. And anyone that has a story to retell that story, so that your young people too will understand and be able to be inspired by it. And just take care, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you for having me on Obstruction to Justice.
Justice now. Justice now.
Justice now.